That's how it's going to start. It's going to start with that hiccup in the background, and I'm not re-recording it. No, it's done. That's a whiskey hiccup. We're sitting here drinking. We're booze hounds. I'm just kidding. Alright. I'm not starting to record it over. Welcome to Non-Judgmental 42. James McGruff here. Scott's back joining us. He's laying there petting my dog, Miss Katie Scooby-Roohead, who's laying on the couch. That is her name. And speaking of dogs, did you read this week? So, Behemoth did a listening party for their new record, right? Uh-huh. You know, Behemoth. We saw them with Slayer back in June.
Oh, yeah.
You know, God Equals Dog, limited edition dog food. If you went to that listening party, you got Behemoth dog food. God Equals Dog. And I saw this, and I thought, that's cool as shit because dogs are fucking metal. Like, who doesn't like dogs?
Crazy people. That's
who
doesn't like dogs.
Who doesn't like dogs? You know, like look at that thing right there. She has joined the show today. She's being a perfect listener. Doesn't want to get involved. Just relaxing. That is a perfect animal right there. But you best believe a leaf falls outside and that mouth's going off. She's going to let us all know. You know, or if someone walks within 50 yards with a hot dog, we're gonna hear about it. But
I want the hot dog.
Other than that, man, how you doing, Scott? What you been up to, bud?
Oh, not a whole lot. Just living.
Yeah, that's all you can do. And when you're living a metal life, you're listening to metal and you're checking out new metal. And we got new metal to talk about. A little bit of new, a little bit of old. So one of the first things I saw coming up is that Slipknot is releasing a 20th anniversary of the debut album. And I get that. What I'm not understanding is why there's a re-release of All Hope Is Gone coming out as well, 10th anniversary. Like, I don't know if that album was so like respected as those original ones that it needs to be a re-release so soon.
In my opinion, it is the bottom of the list of favorite Slipknot albums.
And I'm going to agree that I like it. Now, I'm not going to be shitty and say that I don't like All Hope Is Gone. Actually, the title track's fucking brutal.
Yeah. All Hope Is Gone is great. I really like Dead Memories. Psychosocial was pretty catchy. I kind of could get into that.
Yeah.
Snuff. That was a fantastic
That's
song.
A great song, yeah.
That is the best song on that whole record.
I really like the opening track, the title track, what is it, like Giamatra, the Killing Fields, or I think is that the name of it?
I think so.
I'm not going to mince words. I haven't listened to it in a while, but I remember really enjoying that song, like just the intensity of the chorus, like where he went with it. I remember feeling that and being pretty cool. So, but I don't know, just when I saw that article, I was like, I felt like, and I read it on like, I think I seen it on Metal Injection, Blabbermouth, one of those websites. Pretty just standard news of the week metal article. Hey, this is coming out, But what struck me as it was like, it's like 10th anniversary of All Hope Is Gone, and then underneath it, at the same time they're releasing the 20th anniversary of Self-Titled. I feel like that would be the news. Like they're releasing like a respected, a pretty big package version of the album that made them who they are, with a bunch of new shit and crazy shit, new stuff, new footage, maybe a DVD with it, bonus stuff you didn't see before, stuff like that. Like, I've seen these kind of things before. Record companies want to put out the stuff to capitalize on that. I get it. But, like, it just seemed weird that they would be promoting that record over the first one. Am I wrong to feel that way? Like, no, I guess I'm asking not just you, but anybody listening, like, doesn't that seem odd that, the first album is the one they're pushing more?
Aren't they supposed to be, like, kind of remaking All Hope Is Gone to an extent, too? Like, they're going back to fix things? Because I know that Clown never really liked that album. And a few different interviews, I think I've seen him pretty much say that is their worst album.
I'd have to research like his exact words on it, but like I believe he said he had more hands-on approach when I saw that article, that he's actually kind of doing stuff he wanted to do with this. So you might be right. Like perhaps that's kind of one of the things. Maybe they want to put out their version of it, kind of like what was that band that re-recorded their first record like completely from the ground up? Born of Osiris.
Born of Osiris.
Yeah, like that. I remember listening to it, not being a big fan of it when I heard it, but like I didn't know it was a re-release because I got into them kind of late in the game.
It wasn't just a re-release.
Discovery, I think, is when I got
They
in.
re-recorded everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that
to their more modern sound that they have.
Yeah,
now.
that's pretty cool. Like I don't think Slipknot's going to re-record that record.
They
I
even named it something different. Originally, it was the New Rain, and then the re-recorded one was the Eternal Rain.
I got you.
Yeah,
I don't think Slipknot's obviously going to re-record All Hope Is Gone.
Yeah, they're busy working on the new album.
Yeah. I'm reading that 2019 is going to be the year of it. Corey Taylor's talking.
That he said he's setting aside his schedule for just straight Slipknot, and hopefully there's going to be a big ass tour, and I'm definitely going to be there. That's one of my bucket list bands, and I got to see them at some point.
Yeah, I've seen them 3 times. I saw them for the first record. I saw them for Iowa, and I saw them for the third Subliminal Verses.
Yeah, I have yet to see them, and I just.
Well, you should check out a clip of it. Like,
I've watched videos. I've watched plenty of live stuff.
Yeah, like they're like anybody. You should definitely check out anything like Slipknot does live. Like, and I'll admit, like I'm not a fan of their latest record, so like a new album's not to me. I'm not like I'm not in the fucking clouds talking about it yet.
I did like the Great Chapter. I like
5.
Yeah,
you did.
Yeah,
I didn't like it, man.
There were certain
sounded
songs.
So hollow.
It's a lot. I think it's pretty much tied with me for All Hope Is Gone too, as far as how much I like him. Like, I didn't really like The Devil and I. It was different, and it just
that's a song I don't hate, but I don't love. Does that make sense?
I remember the name of the one song that I really like.
Put a little weed in the bowl. Let's see if that helps.
Oh, yeah, that might help. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Damn. Hold on.
I remember that record. I remember that record to me feeling.
Custer, that's it. I really like Custer.
Okay.
It's really heavy. It's got that anthemic, and I just really liked it.
I'll go back through and check that out, like that specific song. I remember listening to that record and it feeling really hollow, like it just felt like the drums weren't up to par. And I know it's because like
new drummer.
Yeah. Like I understand, but it's like I don't know. It didn't feel right. I remember just not liking it from the go. And I really listened to the whole thing.
I liked the intro, but some of the songs were just kind of boring. I thought, and what was it? Kill Pop? Like, I actually kind of liked that song. It was very different, but I also liked it. I don't know.
I might have to check that one out.
I
can't remember which songs
super heavy.
Which.
Like, a lot of the songs on that album are super heavy, but none of them are.
I can't diminish the talent in it. Like, I'm not trying to, like...
Just nothing of it, nothing in the album makes you really want to come back.
It pissed me off. I remember hearing it being pissed off because I expected a lot more, and I was really judgmental on it. And I'll say, if I'm trying to be non-judgmental, if I'm going to put myself in that mind frame, what I'll say is that, like... I wasn't a fan of that, like, Devil and I, really. I don't love it, I don't hate it. You know, like, it just was like, I remember listening to it, and I was like, I don't know, like, I was listening to
the music video was really cool.
A lot better stuff at the time. You know, I can't remember specifically what, but I remember listening to it and going, I don't feel like I'm going to put this record back in. And I was disappointed because I thought, you know, Slipknot, that's where it's at. Like, you know, there's a lot of those metal bands that, they hold that staple in, like, you know, the late 90s, early 2000s for guys, you know, my age that, like, we were there from the ground up or when they were really hitting that peak popularity and got that. I love that era of metal, man. There was so much cool shit out there. There were bands putting on cool shit. And speaking of one of them, actually recently, within the past week, a little bit of old, little bit of new, Soulfly put out a song, Dead Behind the Eyes, man, featuring fucking Randy Blythe.
Yeah.
Man, we listened to that earlier.
Just started off heavy, just never ended.
Oh yeah, man. Well, that's Soulfly. That's Max. I mean, he's fucking groovy, man. Like the Reverend London Hollywood said it the best, man. It has that tectonic chug, chug, chug in your nuts. Like it's just right there.
Yeah.
That song had it from the go. It's Soulfly. They've always been just absolutely fucking brutally heavy, and that's cool, man. I dig that. I've always been a fan of that groove metal sound, Cavalera. I got the Igor Cavalera signed drumstick on the wall behind us. Like I'm definitely a fan, and to put Randy Blythe in there from Lamb of God, who we saw recently.
Yep.
Just 2 weeks ago from today.
Yeah.
We actually caught them live at that festival.
Blue Ridge Rock Fest.
Yeah.
Which was a little
disappointing. It was a good show.
It was a good show. The whole festival was kind of disappointing. But
to give credit to it, man, it brought music in here we don't normally get. So
like big names, Lamb of God, Upon a Burning Body.
Yeah.
All That Remains.
I got to catch the end of them. They were good. All That Remains put on a great show. Like,
oh yeah, that was pretty great.
I know a lot of people somebody told me they were like kind of like the Nickelback of metalcore, and I was like, I don't know if I agree with that reference because I actually like some All That Remains. I don't like everything. They played that Thunder Rolls cover, dude, and I got mad. I fucking cannot stand that cover. I might be judgmental, but
that title belongs to Five Finger Death Punch.
I don't think that the Five Finger Death Punch would be the Nickelback of metalcore. I think that they would be more the Nickelback of like just metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can't.
I don't think anyone else could really share that title.
But All That Remains are still heavy, man. Like Phil Monte still gets up there and he's still got his voice.
He's got the voice.
Yeah. Like they still rock the Calling Out live, and Air That It Breathe, Becoming the Catalyst. They played that when I seen them last year. Solid fucking solid show. But that Thunder Rolls cover. God, man, it just irritates the piss out of me. Like
I didn't get it. I was just like, why? Why do we need to do this?
Yeah.
Like, why do you have to put us through this right now?
We're trailing off though, but the Soulfly track, track.
Let's get back to that.
Oh my god, yeah. Because you can get so mad at things all the time. Like I'm judgmental against that cover, man. Like I know people liked it. They were
as soon as he said it's
I'm glad people are having fun.
As soon as he said Garth Brooks, I was like, oh god.
Here's my opinion of it, and I talked about this on an earlier episode, just in a brief recap. I don't hate the idea of it. I hate the sound of that cover.
Devil Driver did it, and they did a pretty good job.
That cover record's fucking tops. But I'm saying, like, that Hank 3 cover they did was fucking tits. What I'll say about it is, I don't like his voice. I don't like that, like, tone, that effect he uses on his voice. And I don't like the fact that they cut out a major, like, portion of the song. Like, I understand, like, you're doing it for radio and for plays, but if you're going to cover Garth Brooks, like, do the man some goddamn respect. Like, I don't know, my opinion. I'm being judgmental. I like Garth Brooks. I'm not going to say I love, but I like Garth Brooks. I think he was the rock and roll country dude. Like, he was playing big-ass shows with fire and explosions, man. He's like
one of the
Kiss
last
country,
country stars that didn't really seem to be industry made like they are today. Like, the pop country.
I enjoyed him, man. Like, I think he wrote good songs.
He wrote good songs, and he was like the end
meaningful, like, kind of had... Like, I'm sure he was part of the industry like everyone else, but I don't think he was in it like it is today, where you're like either a puppet or you have no creative control.
Yeah, and he was the last true country star, in my opinion. Not a lot of people could since have been able to generate such a... I don't know, he was a good dude. And,
absolutely.
He wrote good music. And country music has been really lacking these days. I prefer the old days. Give me Johnny Cash.
Give me Hank. Give me Waylon. I get it, but I regress. The Soulfly track, absolutely stunning, man. Dead Behind the Eyes. It's groovy. I know we're trailing off here. Give us a judgmental minute. But damn good track, man. And what trailed us into that anyway was the Lamb of God show, man. That was like the fourth time I've seen those guys.
That was my third.
Yeah, it was my fourth time seeing them. Absolutely fucking amazing every time. Man.
Every time.
Those
they have
guys,
one of the best sounds live.
They should hit that peak. They have hit that peak where they're metal legends. Like, I hope to see them in the Hall of Fame one day.
I'm sure they will be.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt in my mind that one day they will be one of the GOATs.
I was supposed to go see Ozzy a couple days ago, but with the current hurricane situation,
Didn't want to risk the travel.
yeah, not that, and just good luck to anybody affected by that. Or thoughts are with you, but like with that going on, we didn't know if it was safe to buy tickets or if where it was going to go at the time, and
Or even if they were going to have the show right then. Either.
or if we needed to save the money to like stock up because we here where we live here is actually in a flood zone, and we were at one point in a direct path of it. It's changed since then. I'm pretty sure in our area we're still going to get a hellacious storm and some rain, but like it's definitely affected people really bad. So, but at the time that's what stopped us from it. But I'm hoping Lamb of God doesn't go that route. And quick before I get into my opinions on this, we actually found out they announced why Chris Adler was out, because when we saw them last time, he wasn't.
It was Art something, but he was the drummer for Winds of Plague.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was going to say. It was the Winds of Plague drummer. He was he was taking over. And fucking kudos, dude. That dude killed it, man.
Didn't sound much different.
Fucking killed it. Yeah, I mean, like great show. Like Lamb of God. Every time I've seen them, they've been fucking top tier. And I saw them for the first time I saw them was while they were touring before Ashes of the Wake and for the As the Palaces Burn. So good shit. But he's actually Adler is out collarbone surgery, man, from a motorcycle accident in 2017. That's why he's out. They didn't announce why until just now. I guess he
Luckily, we got to see him play with them before he decided to take off the tour.
Yeah, I've seen him. Like I said, he's been with them every time I've seen him. This was the first time at the festival that he it was a replacement in there, but you couldn't tell.
The set list was killer too.
Oh man, yeah, dude.
Opening up with Omerta.
Anytime they play Black in the Cursed Sun, I go absolutely fucking ape shit. Like those guys are just a step above. Like I want Lamb of God to hit that, but like I've said before, I think that eventually they're going to kind of split for maybe even temporarily, and eventually do other things. Like I think those guys they've
kind of been wanting to do that. I feel like because a few months ago you heard about them wanting to take a break, but then they signed on for the Slayer tour, and they made the Burn the Priest album, and I was just sitting there confused. I was like, I thought they were supposed to be taking a break, but maybe that was just them teasing the Burn the Priest thing, but I don't know.
I would say, to me, that speaks volumes, because it's like, obviously, them putting out that Burn the Priest record of covers of their personal favorite tracks. I mean, that album was not radio-friendly hits that you can listen to and say, hey, oh man, I want to hear Lamb of God cover this fucking popular metal song. Like,
it was like punk songs. It was a bunch of
dude. I've heard Chimera cover Disposable Heroes and shit, like in bands like that where they cover Metallica and they cover like kind of not a big hit but like a song that's known. You always hear about bands covering something. They cover something that's known, that's popular, that's going to get them plays. Like Bad Wolves doing that zombie cover. Like I know that wasn't for. And when I'm saying this, I'm not saying this in a shitty way. I'm not saying like, oh, they did it for publicity, because they planned to do it with the singer before she passed. But them doing that was a popular song. It was going to get traction whether she passed or not. Like that was a song that people were going to listen to and go, oh, that. Even if you didn't know Bad Wolves or know metal, if you heard that zombie song in the 90s and you were a fan of it, you hear that and you go, oh man, I know that song, and it gets that band in your head, then you can tell other people about it. It's a good way to get songs out there. You hear a lot of bands doing that, but this Lamb of God thing, man, they were covering some cool shit, like Cro-Mags and shit. Like they were going for their personal favorites, and I always like to hear a band do that. It was like Slayer did that in the late 90s with an album called Undisputed Attitude, where they covered a bunch of crazy like speed punk and shit. Like a cool record to listen to, even if you're not a fan of those songs they do. But like and they finished it off with an original song called Gemini, which is actually like a really killer Slayer song. It's kind of like Seasons in the Abyss, a little groovy, a little slower, but definitely a good track. And but that record right there, I like when bands take a personal approach to it. So that tells me that Lamb's passion for music and making metal and playing heavy shit, or playing music in general, isn't gone. Like all those guys, it's there. But I feel like eventually they're going to do their thing. But even with that, like they're always like a step above.
Randy's always been very open about the fact that he was never really much of a metalhead. He was more of the punk kid. Like he grew up in Richmond. You know, the punk scene was really happening out there. It always is. Richmond, you go to Richmond, you're always going to find some crazy good punk hardcore shows going on out there.
Oh, sure. Yeah. That band that sent us that track that we listened to on the last episode, that 333, they're kind of in that
kind of a thrash,
you know, kind
punky,
of deal. Yeah,
hardcore.
and they're from Richmond too. Like, you know, like it's definitely a scene out there for it, and that's cool, man. That shit definitely has its place in the metal world. It's you know, not everybody like. I love groove metal. I like slow. I like chuggy. I like speed. I like, you know, I like everything. But some people just want it fast and fucking in your face.
Yeah.
And you can tell Randy had that punk rock vibe to him, and his lyrics, man, they're so
political.
They're very political. They're very interpretable. Like you know, it's like he's telling a story in each one, man. Like that song, "Broken Hands." That track, like it wasn't a single. It wasn't anything. It was just like track 7 on Wrath, I think it was, right? I believe so. I remember hearing that song for the first time and just repeating the fuck out of it all the time. I was like, man, this is a fucking classic. And like man, that song was not big, like, but the story he tells in it, like, oh man, I can't even fucking mind blown lyrically. Like, just
512 is a great one lyrically.
Yeah, and that's a single, but still, like, the lyrics and the content of it are so deep. Like, I don't know, man, the guy he has that it factor when it comes to not.
He knows how to write
music.
He knows how to write really 100% good lyrics.
100% agreed. Like, I think that Randy Blythe has it. So,
and he's one of those metal vocalists that, you know, you hear him scream, but you also really hear what he says too. Like, he has this really he enunciates with his screams, and I really like that because, you know, you listen to some bands, it's like, what are you saying? But most of the time, it really doesn't matter. A lot of the time, I see the vocals as just like an added instrument to the music already. Sometimes some bands, I don't care about lyrics. They have a vocalist that makes noises that adds to the music, in my opinion.
As somebody who grew up as a vocalist in metal bands, like, I will say that there's something about certain bands that I'll hear the vocals and it'll just kill it for me right off the bat. I don't know why. I wish that I didn't have that. Part of being non-judgmental is trying to get past that. Avenged Sevenfold was the band that actually kind of got me in that mind frame because I've always hated his voice. I've hated his voice. And I went and I saw them live and they weren't bad. So a buddy of mine challenged me to listen to the records, and I listened to them and I kind of put myself in a different spot. And I was like, man, these aren't terrible. I'm not going to listen to them again.
Yeah.
But they weren't terrible. They weren't crap like I eagerly anticipated. Like, who could like this? This is fucking bullshit. But then I listened to it and I was like, this is like the best parts, like Guns N' Roses and Slayer, if they kind of, like, you know, had like a bastard child out of wedlock. Like, you know, like, but in the stage show it was cool, man, and their guitarist fucking, he rips. Like, yeah. I can't crap on that. So it put me in that spot. So you just gotta take the good with the bad, like, you know, especially when it comes to metal.
Yeah.
Speaking of groovy shit, our boys that we fucking love here at Non-Judgmental, Rivers of Nile. Did you see that video they put out for Where Owls Know My Name?
Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
Had the dude from the Black Crown Initiate guest vocaling on there too. It was fantastic. I love his voice, and it just kind of
that's who that was. The dude with the tambourine and shit shaking around.
Yeah.
Okay.
The dude with the long beard, septum ring. It's just beautiful voice, beautiful angelic singing voice.
Because you know that we, I know you've been on here a few times, but you know we had an interview with them at Non-Judgmental.
Yes.
Yeah, Blunts with Bands. You can check that out on our YouTube channel. But yeah, man, they put out a fucking video, dude. This shit looks like it's straight from the 70s. Like, that trippy kind of like, if you've watched the video for Black Sabbath Iron Man, like the old school video for that, like it's kind of in that kind of
it reminded me of
it's cool as shit. Like, these guys are just so fun, man. And they had like the saxophone guy tearing it up right there in the video. Like,
It
What a
reminded
great
me of
fucking- man. It's
Ghost
awesome.
music videos too. The Ghost music videos, a lot of them are like have that general like 70s music video made vibe to them.
Somebody recommended them to me early on, and I remember listening to a song and it didn't strike, and I didn't listen to them. And then years later, I go back and I'm like, holy shit, I really like these guys.
Ghost?
But a buddy of mine, Narkill, fucking loves them, and
Oh, dude, Ghost
like,
is great. I love Ghost.
when he started getting into them, I was like, maybe I ought to check this out a little bit more because like I trust his opinion on shit so high, and I went back and I was like, holy fuck, this is excellent, man. Like, the story it tells, how cool, their whole gimmick. Like,
the
as someone who
gimmick is the
loves
best.
gimmick metal, like, that is a fucking big, sloppy, wet kiss. Just how much theatrics it is.
Doomy, kind of 70s.
Not only that, like...
It reminds me of Sabbath. And,
so much. And not only that, like, they had that fan that passed away at their show. It was, like, in Michigan or Wisconsin or something like that. I apologize for not knowing.
Yeah,
I
don't think I've heard of that.
They did a show, I think a few months back or early in the year, and they had a fan pass away in the show. I don't think it was something they did. I think it was just,
it just happened.
It was just, unfortunate, tragic circumstances. Once again, I apologize for not knowing the details. I just read this a while back.
Yeah.
But they're actually, because, like, they do their sets and parts kind of like a theater.
Yeah. Their show is
offering,
very theatric.
They're doing on Halloween or the 30th, 31st. They're doing a my cat just came up and distracted me. They're doing a free show for the people who were at that show who didn't get to finish. So all they have to do is just show proof that they originally bought a ticket, and then they just get to go watch the the special version of the end of Act 2 of that show. They're doing it in honor of the fan that passed.
That's awesome.
Like, so when you see things like that, and it's like, they're only doing it for people who were there. They're not doing it for anyone else. You can't buy a ticket to the show.
Yeah.
And that tells me that they're not making any money off this. Like, they've already got their tickets. They gave refunds for that show. So they're doing this for the people who got to just, unfortunately, because of the circumstances, miss that act, and had a bad memory of that night. So they're going back for free and doing this for those people. And they're not, like, and it was just a small little blip of an article, like, I'm not seeing a ton of press about it. And that tells me that these are just really human people who are doing something nice. Like, and that's so awesome, because that to me and their whole sound and everything, it doesn't sound industry influenced. It sounds like these guys are uber creative and are just putting out quality music and content and offering the fans something that a lot of bands don't get a chance to offer. Metallica offers free shows to people.
Yeah.
Remember, like, they rolled up in Antarctica. They're the only band to play in Antarctica live. Like, they rolled right up and, like, built a special performance with headphones, and people got to check Metallica out live because of the way, like, the place is, just structured.
Yeah.
Like, just one of those amazing things that these people in a position of not only, like, wealth, but that, with a little industry power behind them, actually take that and do something good for their fans. And it's commendable to Ghost, and they take that vein. They have that real 70s vibe to them, too, and I love that. But that Rivers and Nile video is just like it, man. Like, they're fucking dancing around with the fucking tie-dye background.
You can tell that they're having a good time.
They're hanging out in a kaleidoscope, dude. It's cool as shit. And, having got to kind of, like, have them be a part of non-judgmental in a slight way. My cat keeps wanting to get involved in non-judgmental. She's being very nosy. That's right. You're a new kitten. Go on, get out of here. She's so whiny. She'll sit on the ground and just scream. Just mad as hell that you won't give her things. But having them kind of be a little part of non-judgmental, and help us out a little bit was really cool of them. So, definitely anytime they put out anything, I'm going to check it out. And that video is trippy as shit. So if you haven't checked it out, watch it. I'll
saxophones definitely belong in metal.
They belong in metal. Like a solid groove.
The
groove.
The Faceless and Rivers and Nile have definitely proven that. Saxophone belongs in metal. It can definitely work, and work really well.
So, anniversary tour coming up next month. After the Burial and the Acacia Strain, we're attempting to go non-judgmental style, like we always do to heavy things. Word dropped today. New album, finished. What do you think? What's your thoughts? Because isn't this the first one without Justin's influence?
Yeah, it's the first one without Justin's influence, and I'd like to see where they take it. It's the first album without their bassist. I don't think they're ever planning to ever fill in that second guitar part, which I don't know how they're going to do that live, too, because if you listen to Rare Form, to me, when I listen to Rare Form, it's mostly the music just sounds like two guitars trying to outdo each other all the time.
That's fucking badass.
And I just don't know how they're going to do that well live with just
Are they going to hire maybe somebody to play the second parts?
I have no idea. I guess that's something we'll have to wait and see if maybe someone will tell us something about that. But like songs like Curse Vodka Totten or something like that. I think that's the name of the song. That just sounds so great, but it sounds like, there's definitely the sound of two guitars being in there, and I'm just kind of interested in how they're going to do that live.
Well, regardless of how that show goes, man, I'm sure it's going to be blistering fucking heavy.
The Acacia Strain playing Continent, that's going to be
asinine.
Just in your face, heavy.
They probably need to get railroad spikes and kind of bolt the place down so it doesn't come off the hinges.
Yeah.
And I heard they added Make Them Suffer.
Make Them Suffer an Era.
Dude, they're who?
Era.
Oh, Era again?
Yep.
Yeah, I like them. I like them. Yeah, they were good. I liked them. They were different, but I liked them. I love fucking Make Them Suffer. I love that fucking symphonic in it, dude. I like the double bass. Like those guys, they are groovy, they are heavy. That vocalist kills it with some of those growls and like he has a unique scream and sound to them, man. Like,
and I love that they have.
They're from Australia, right?
Yes.
That place just produces metal content.
Really,
just good. Here you go.
Here you go. Thy Art Is Murder. Here you go. Parkway Drive. Here you go. Just so many.
They gave us that new metal band too. That's like they're not really new metal, but like they like I don't know. They got certain songs about them that I actually like. What was that one? That Buried in Verona.
Yeah,
I like some of their tracks too.
I thought they were from Italy.
I thought they were from Australia. Weren't they from?
I think
I'm pretty sure. I may be corrected.
I'm pretty sure it's Italy, but I could be wrong.
I'll have to check. I remember reading Australia.
The Amity Affliction is actually a really good band.
If I'm wrong about that, I'll eat crow. I'll eat crow fucking sandwich.
The Amity Affliction is a really good band from Australia. They're more of like the metalcore, kind of like pop punkish, but I really like them. There's another band I listen to that's really good. I'm trying to. In Heart's Wake, they're a really good band from Australia.
I'll check it out.
Australia definitely produces really good metal.
That's blowing me away. I gotta know now. Am I wrong about this? Buried in Verona. I gotta know. Am I stupid?
I'm probably wrong.
Well, but see, I can't tell you're not because
before.
You're actually sober and McGruff's a few drinks in. So if I am not correct on here, then I gotta.
We'll find out here.
I gotta take a big nice I gotta decide whether I gotta eat a crow sandwich or you gotta eat a shit sandwich. We're trying to figure it out.
I guess it depends on how wrong we are.
Buried in Verona was an Australian metalcore band from Sydney, New South Wales.
Okay, you're right.
I was right.
You got it.
I can't believe that.
I must be thinking of another band.
Probably so.
I feel like there's another band with a very similar name.
The cool thing is, though, that we learn in this fact is that there's metal from all over the world. So just fucking, praise him.
How many music genres
praise
can
the
you
metal
really?
god.
How many music genres can you sit here and ask the common American? How many people? How many countries? How many different countries are artists that you listen to from? And I'm sure most people, normal people, just Canada, England, America. That's it. But, metal has everything from all over the world. You got Japan, China.
Well, I don't even think it's that.
Every
I think
country in Europe has.
I don't think it's just that. Like, check this out. Like, so you hear people like they talk about other singers or like if somebody tells me like they'll be like, oh, like I'll know like a girl casually at work or something, and they'll talk about like Amy Winehouse or something like that, you know. But the first thing they don't say to them, you know, like, and I'm just using her as an example, like. They don't tell me immediately. They're like, "Oh, it's a British singer, or it's this type of singer, or what." But when you meet metalheads and they're like, "Oh, dude, like I like this band. Like, you got to check them out. They're from Finland. They're fucking like their origins, like the backstory of this band." Because not only does that tell you about what this person likes, it also tells you what type of metal you're most likely getting into. Like,
because
metal has a cultural draw to it. Like, where you're from can matter. Like, it matters deeply. Southern metal, like sludge metal, man, and or you know, it originated in the deep South, and you know, through people with you know, generally heavy alcoholism and drug use, man, who really knew what it was like to live through the dregs of life. Like, metal has a very cultural impact to it, and it's cool as shit because when you talk to people about it, like, they have a story to tell. They have a story to tell, but I'll meet people like rap, they'll be like, yeah, I like Eminem, and I'll be like, that's cool. And I'm not diminishing that somebody likes hip-hop or that they grew up listening to, you know, NWA or DMX or one of those. Like, it was never my thing, whatever. But what I'm saying is, like, I don't hear them, they don't tell me a story about it. But when you hear people about metal, they're like, oh, yeah, I like this band. They're from fucking Sweden, dude. I seen them one time, and the fucking fire was burning so bright. Like, I can tell you how many times I've told the stories of seeing Pantera because I'll go to a show and a metalhead will lean in and go, tell me about it. Whoa, what was that like? They want to know because that sounds like an experience to them.
Yeah.
And I think metal has a unique factor in that.
Yeah, metal has that unique factor where it's like, if you're a metalhead, you're wanting to go to shows. You're wanting to go to concerts all the time. But then I have friends that listen to just country, pop music. They'll go to a concert maybe once in their life.
I got a really cool friend that's like wicked talented on guitar, man, and goes to school for music. And he plays like classical stuff and all types of, like he's a musician. Like he studies music, and he loves metal too. Metal is a music that you can like. As like the lowest dude living in a trailer park listening to black metal in your bedroom, or not trying to judge, but or like like the one of the music student in one of the highest honors of any school in the world. Like it transcends, I think, like just it doesn't, lifestyle doesn't matter. Like you like metal because you like metal, and when you like metal, you love metal. Yeah. Like, there's something about it that speaks to you.
I don't think there's really that in between. You're either in it or not really about it.
I mean, there's people that like metal and like other music. There's a lot of metal guys.
I like all types of music. Like,
me too.
I listen to just about everything. But I mainly focus on metal. But
true, yeah, myself as well. But like, there's a big thing that I've seen with people out there, like. I know Non-Judgmental's own Vitamin Nick, man. He likes hip-hop, but he likes some really interesting and really cool and lyrically charged hip-hop. Like, I like a lot of the stuff he likes, yeah.
I like it when I can actually hear that there's talent in what they're doing.
He turned me on to that Joyner Lucas guy, and I actually liked him when I heard it. Now, I'm not a huge fan of it because it's not my thing, but when I hear this, I can go, I like that rather than the shit I'm hearing on the radio. I don't like that shit. I don't like that like weird auto-tune shit where it just sounds like a lazy guy talking.
Yeah.
That's not interesting to me at all.
The mumble rap, I do not care about.
And I think
give me something from like the 80s, 90s hip-hop, like NWA.
Metal has that appeal to go to guys like you and me who we love it. We're like metalheads, but at the same time, like, if we hear something good, we like that too. Like I've told people before, Weezer's one of my favorite bands. Like, I love metal, but there's a lot of metal influence in Weezer, and you may not like Weezer, but it's in there, man. If you go back and listen to their catalog of music they've wrote over the years, there is a heavy metal influence deep in their shit, and they wear it on their sleeve, like, and at the same time, like, I do like some old school hip hop, man. I do like some stuff like that, and like, I love musicals. I love the Hamilton musical. Like, I have an appreciation for certain things, but metal is my bread and butter. Like, I think metal transcends the ability to just be just a music for guys, you know, who or you know, angry people. It's definitely not. Like, it has its appeal to everyone, and I think that that's always been something.
And
Really
I've always
special
noticed
about
that if you do run into, I don't know, someone who's not super into metal, but they do really like it, they're usually someone that, you know, like you said, studies music, because metal is most closely related to classical music as far as like the song structure goes, and how musicians really build their songs around.
I'd like to maybe get my friend on here and get him to talk about that stuff sometime, man. He's a really cool and really super fucking talented guy. And I haven't really got to see him in a couple years, but we talk every once in a while, man. But he is absolutely cool, and I'd like to get his opinion on that because he actually studies music. He'd be an interesting guy to have on here. So I may hopefully cross our fingers. Maybe we can get him to do that in the future. But absolutely, like I just think that's something that I've always appreciated about metal is that you know, it does have that ability to kind of, you know, bridge that gap. Like, I always felt like I've made friends off it before. You know, like, you go to shows and you end up meeting somebody, and then you have a buddy for life. Like, metal can build relationships. It can,
and
I don't know. It just has a really charged emotional impact, and I think that's important.
And usually, like, more times than not, you run into a metalhead, they're the nicest person you'll ever meet. They'll talk to you just about just about anything. Like, when I go to a metal show, I have a few beers in me, I start talking to people.
Oh, yeah.
I have great conversations.
Yeah, you do. You're the guy that, like, knocks you on your ass in the pit and then, like, hangs out with you afterwards. I've seen you.
Yeah. I'll knock your ass out, but I'll pick you up and apologize later.
That's it, man. You got to pick them up.
It's all about in the moment, you know. I've had the misfortune of actually hurting people in the pit before. Like, I gave a dude a black eye once on accident.
Hey, man, shit happens, dude. Like,
but you know
that girl that like kicked me in the face. You remember when we went to Rebellion and we were front row for Alice in Chains because you were there for that. Me and our buddy Narkill. And the sunburn on my head was so bad, a girl kicked me in my face, and I had like a bullet hole sized wound, like the size of a quarter.
I think I got her boot in my face too.
Oh man, dude, she booted me right in the face. And you know what? Like, God bless her, man. She was crowd surfing for fucking Man in the Box. How in the world could I be angry at her? I would have done it too if I wouldn't have just went up and be thrown over the rail because we were front row.
Yeah.
Like, there's at no point if I would have been 50 feet back in that crowd, I'd have been like, well, they're playing Rooster, guys, so I'm going to need you guys to just lift me up and let me surf over there near
let me go
Jerry
up there.
Cantrell for a few minutes if you don't mind. Because this is fucking incredible. Like, you know, music has that ability to... you know, soothe the fucking beast in all of us, and also bring it out in a really positive way. That's
more
you know,
literally for that one guy that was crowd surfing during the Here Comes the Rooster and the Rooster Mask.
Oh yeah, Narco got a video, man. He come by through every time they did it. Here comes the rooster. Here comes the fucking rooster, like through the crowd.
It was perfect.
Yeah, he was like just like clockwork, man. Like he was on the schedule. Like somebody paid him to do that. Like that was nuts. I don't believe that, but I mean that's how.
It seemed like it was part of the show.
Yeah,
it really did.
Yeah, that's amazing right now. So, all right, wrapping it up here on a little short, non-judgmental. I think this is 42, or it might just be extra. We're here having fun, talking about metal, talking about music. It's what we do. Anything not metal you've been into lately?
Spider-Man.
Oh, dude, the game?
PS4.
Holy shit, I've been playing the fuck out of it. No, I'm not even kidding.
I already 100%ed the everything one time, and I'm already halfway through a second. I love
100%. Like you talking 100% like on the game, or 100% on the PlayStation? You got the Platinum trophy.
I got both. I 100%ed the game and the Platinum trophy.
Damn.
When I got the Platinum trophy, you know how the trophies will tell you how many people have gotten it so far?
Yeah.
When I got the Platinum, 0.8% of the people who played that game had it.
That's fucking
now
awesome.
It's up to 3.5 or 3.6. I checked it today.
McGruff's got quite a few drinking. Quite a few Platinums himself.
I only got 2.
I have, let's see what I have. Since we're talking about video games, wrap it a little bit. I got one for Bloodborne. That's my proudest.
Mm-hmm.
Probably equal proudest to that would be Monopoly. Dude, let me tell you, getting the motherfucking platinum for Monopoly means you gotta play online and beat motherfuckers. Like, in everything, from, like, auctions to matches to, like, I mean, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Like, you got, like, I mean, I want you guys to think about this. How many times you sat down and played a game of Monopoly and won that motherfucker? And there's an achievement for beating the winning 50 times on the internet. So let me just tell you how much time I put into playing Monopoly on the motherfucking PlayStation 3. And I'm an Xbox dude.
Sounds like a lot.
Dude, I love achievement and trophy. I have 139,000 achievements. I'm like a level 13 trophy. I'm not like a whore about it, you know. I'm not gonna get down and lick a game's asshole, but I'll definitely lick a tit, and I will get in there and try to get them trophies.
I got about 23,000 gamer score on Xbox.
That's respectable.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent sized amount, especially since I've only had that account for like 2 years now.
Literally, our new kitten's named Nashandra off Dark Souls 2, like the queen regent of Drangleic. Like, I fucking love games. I play the fuck out of them. That Spider-Man tits. It does for Spider-Man what Batman Arkham did for the Batman game.
I love that the combat was so much like Arkham, but so different too. It feels like it was actually tailored to Spider-Man. Like, I don't know. And the story was amazing. The ending, I'm not going to spoil anything other than it hit me. It hit me straight in the heart, dude. It was just a big old sucker punch to the gut, dude. I almost cried, dude.
I'm excited. Don't spoil anymore. I gotta know.
I'm not spoiling anymore.
I'm close. Next episode.
You get big old gut punch at the end.
Okay.
Filled with emotion. It was just heartbreaking.
I'm excited. I'm excited about this. Like,
it was a great game. I beat it 3 days. I think it took me 3 days to do that 100%.
That one of my other platinums I did that 2 days. Horizon Zero Dawn platinum did when it first came out. Like, you know, like I did that with that one. Just I was so sucked into the story and just the whole world.
I watched a bunch of reviews and people were talking about how long it'll take you to beat the main story, which was about 15, 20 hours.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to 100% the game, it was going to take you about 40. And I did that in 3 days.
Damn, that's good.
I love that game.
Yeah,
I don't play games like that. Like I very rarely will.
That's
find
how
a
I
game
did. That's how I did with Horizon, man.
I just cannot put it down.
Have you played that Horizon?
Which one?
Horizon Zero Dawn for the PlayStation.
I haven't yet,
dude. You can get the Game of the Year, like everything edition, for like $20. Like I've seen it on sale many times. You want to talk about a game that the story will suck you in? Pick it up. Like it's an open world. Fucking, I don't want to spoil anything. Yeah. Check it out. I did the same thing you're talking for Spider-Man. I'm doing that for Spider-Man right now. Lately, my work schedule has not allowed me to play for 3 days straight, but I probably would have the platinum too. That's how much I enjoy this Spider-Man. I did the same thing. The Bloodborne, I got a platinum for that. Monopoly, I'm gonna go for the Spider-Man if I got time before I got to take it back. Horizon Zero Dawn, I got the Infamous 2 platinum. I fucking got that one. I love that shit. That was a great game too. If you want to check that out.
I don't get 100% like all the achievements or trophies in games very often, but it was just.
I 100% in Red Dead Redemption now. I 100% of that motherfucker.
I've gotten real close to 100% in GTA 5, but I'm like at like 80 something.
I rarely play the single player on there. I sometimes get online.
That was.
The single player now, I beat it twice. It was It was a great story. Don't get me wrong. I'm not
before Spider-Man. The only game that had been able to suck me in that deep was GTA 5.
That's awesome. That's fucking.
Like I remember I was up at like 11 o'clock at night. Just started putting it on, started playing the story, and the next thing I know, the sun's coming up, and I'm like,
"Oh yeah, dude!"
What? Like my dad got up for work, and he was like, "You're still up?
You need to go to sleep."
Yeah, pretty much. I was like, "Yeah, I think I do."
Dude, that happened to me too. You know, that was crazy. The first time I had done that with a bunch of games with buddies. Like we would get on playing 2-player, or I had a friend Mike I was friends with at school. We would get up. We would stay up all night playing Resident Evil 2, or and like it'd be early morning. We'd have to. Their parents would get out to go to bed. But like it was always with somebody. I would get sucked into something. And the first game I ever did it by myself, where I just lost track of life outside of that moment, was I remember playing the first Metal Gear Solid, and I remember beating it like after a couple weeks and being like, "Oh, it's pretty good game." You know, I liked it. On the PlayStation. But I remember wanting on Christmas, like I think I was 15 or 16, it was 2001, so I was 16, around 16, 17 years old. And 2001, 2000, around that time. And my mom, I was like, give me the fucking SmackDown for PlayStation. I want the wrestling game for PlayStation. I want it. And she was like, you know, Christmas coming, just hold your tits. And I was like, okay. So, Christmas morning comes, dude. There's a game-shaped box under the tree, and I'm fucking slapping my jaws. I'm ready to create my dude and get into career mode, win the belt. You know, I'm fucking chomping at the bit. I know that when present time comes, I can't dig into the game first, or I'm gonna seem like a motherfucker. So I got to open the little boxes around it from, you know, auntie here and cousin this. I gotta open them. I gotta open my shirts that I'm gonna get and a pair of socks.
Gotta save the best for last.
Well, it's not just that. It's like if I don't do that, then I seem like a dick. Because as soon as I get that game, I'm going in the room and fuck you for the rest of the day. I'm off from school. Eat a cunt. I'm gonna play this goddamn PlayStation.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk with you guys. Thanks for the bacon and eggs. I'm going back in the room.
You're lucky I tolerate you in the first place.
You judgmental fucks. I don't want to sit here. You know. So I opened the shit presents I'm not ever going to deal with, you know, like I'm like, oh great, another real tree camo shirt, Chuck, you know, and I grab the game, did not close my eyes, and I wrench that motherfucker off, and I look at it, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, and I'm like, what's this? And she's like, oh, I asked the guy at the store, and he said that was the most popular one, and I was like, I crunched the case in my hand, I was like, thanks. I was so mad because I didn't want to play Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. I wanted to play motherfucking Smackdown.
I love that game though. But
hold on, let me finish this. I'm gonna tell you what happened. So I get mad as shit, and later that day I get in my car and I'm going to leave. And I'm mad as fuck. No, I didn't drive. I had a buddy. We were going out to do something. Let's get high. We were going out to get high, away from my family on Christmas, as a minor. So we're going out, and I'm like, let me stop by my dad's. He's got something for me. So I get to my dad's house. I got a gift card for you, boy. $60 gift card for GameStop. Or $50 gift card, because games were $50 at the time. And I got excited. I was like, holy shit, I can get my wrestling now. Dad, you fucking wonderful drunk. You came through for one time in my life. So, yeah, I'm super excited. I'm like, oh, dude, you know, tomorrow's the day after Christmas. Everything opens back up. I was like, what time do you get off work? Buddy's like, I get off at 5 o'clock. And I was like, all right, man, take me to GameStop. I'm going to get my wrestling game. So he takes me. I go get my wrestling game. Dude, I play that shit for a week straight. Sons of Liberty sitting like, you know, with a fucking Coke can empty on top of it. I'm fucking... You know, I'm into that fucking wrestling. I'm unlocking everything. Undertaker's killing everybody. School's about to start back up, beginning of January. So I pop that Metal Gear Solid in. And I start playing it randomly because I was like, I don't want to get into anything I'm going to get sucked into. So let's try this out. And we're starting on the boat. Next thing you know, I'm a different character on an oil rig. Fucking fighting that bitch, man. Like, getting mad as hell. Like, trying to figure these bosses out. Like, talking to people. Like, getting sucked into the story. Dude, next thing I know, dude, it's 6:30. My alarm's going off. It's time to go to school. First day back after winter break. And I haven't slept since 8 the morning before, dude, because I was playing fucking Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty.
It's a great game.
Yeah, so I went in there and did anything a respectable kid would do. I lied to my mom and told her I had diarrhea real bad and I couldn't go to school. I went and sat on the toilet for 30 minutes until she went to work, and then I went back and played Sons of Liberty until I beat that motherfucker that night.
Hell yeah.
I was like, damn, dude, what a fucking game. Like, you just don't get experiences like that anymore, like with games. Like, a lot of times,
Hideo Kojima makes amazing games that just are so... so story driven and it's so crazy. It's just it sucks you in though. It's
I haven't, dude.
It's a beautiful
I
masterpiece
for years was
when
just
Hideo Kojima gets on a game. It's just beautiful.
Oh,
like
yeah.
he was going to do that Silent Hill that got canceled with PT.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, man.
I always get sucked into things in a way that's like, this is starting to turn into a video game show. But, I always get sucked into things like, just to get the achievements and trophies. Like, I was doing that for a while, and I couldn't be, like, world record type guy. I wasn't, gearing for that. I just wanted to get as much as I could and 1,000 out as many games and have fun.
Yeah.
At the same time, in that respect, like, because I worked, I wasn't able to do it as much as I wanted, but I still got a pretty respectable gamer score and trophy place.
Yeah.
I was pretty happy about it, but man, like, it's been years since I got sucked into games, and like a few of them these past couple of years have just sucked me in. You played Mafia 3?
Yep.
That's a great story.
Sucked me in.
That is a great story, man.
I have
It'll
about,
keep you,
I
keep
have
you
about
sucked in.
80% of the trophies on the Xbox.
That's a great one. Mafia 3 was a great game. Like, there's these ones, but nothing has sucked me in more, I will say, and I've said it before, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, From Software, Demon Souls. Dude, I can't stop playing them. I will play them. If somebody's like, hey, will you get on? I'm like, yeah, I will. I just, I own, this is a game I own copies. I own it for the 360. I own the remaster for the PS4. I own multiple copies of 2. I own multiple copies of 3. I own Bloodborne. Like, I just have multiple copies on every system. I have them, like, multiple on the 360, on the Xbox One, on the PS4. I just own, like, if somebody wants to play one of these, I'm just like, yeah, I can. Like, it doesn't matter if they're like, well, but I got it on this. It doesn't matter. I can get on there. Like, dude, I just play the fuck out of these games. Like, I
haven't really played much of it.
Oh, dude, I will play Bloodborne. I know you got a PS4. I will play Bloodborne with you so much.
I have Bloodborne downloaded.
So my God, I will rip it the fuck apart, dude. I will. Oh, dude, I love it so much.
Well, whenever
I love Lovecraft, and it's like you are the fucking just center pawn in a Lovecraft story. Like, that's what Bloodborne feels like. It's excellent. It's a game you just will not forget playing. Like, I've played
we'll have
it.
to get on and play.
Yeah, it's a fucking mandate, dude. It's a mandate. I absolutely fucking 100% agree, but yeah. Video games. Anyway, this is a tangent. Spider-Man. PS4, pick it up.
You should.
You
Definitely.
should.
It's a must.
Yeah, you can web motherfuckers
Plenty of
in your
DLC
face.
coming out in the next 3 months. They're adding about probably 5 or 10 more hours of gameplay. I think in all of them.
Just give it your money. Go to work extra.
They said that
Just
they're
to
coming
have
out
it.
with new villains to fight against. Black Cat's going to be in the first DLC. There's going to be more missions that they're going to come out with. They're about to release a new Game Plus mode, which I'm fucking just dying for at this point.
I want to replay that God of War that came out this year too. Like, they added a new Game Plus to that. Oh,
I
man,
had it, and then I needed money real bad, and then I sold it, but I need to get it back. I really regret selling that. I was like halfway through.
Oh man, yeah, you definitely do, man. Redbox exists. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah, you should take a day off and just suck in.
I have plenty of days off right now.
Yeah, so. Well, definitely, man. I definitely appreciate you coming by and talking metal and video games with me.
Oh, yeah.
We got plenty of other things to fucking get into. New horror movie coming up. We got that new Halloween sequel. It's not even a remake. It's a fucking sequel. It's
a direct sequel to
retcon sequel. That is so fucking awesome.
It takes away every other subsequent.
And they bring back a
sequel.
Silver Fox MILF of Jamie Lee fucking Curtis to tear him up again. That's so cool.
And it just seems like all the trailers I've seen, it just seems like she's
my
delivering
fucking money.
a top tier performance in this
Take
one.
my fucking money.
Like, I can't believe that the dudes from Pineapple Express are making this movie. Danny McBride is one of the lead producers.
Dude, that
of
guy
the
is
movie.
fucking talent, man. He knows what he's doing. Like, I've noticed that anything he's generally in, I like. And anything
all the characters he's ever played, like in Hot Rod, I loved his character in Hot Rod.
God, that's such an underrated comedy movie.
I love that movie.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah.
That movie was just great.
Just the mission of a guy trying to beat up his dad.
Yeah.
That's it. It's fucking excellent, man. It's fucking excellent, dude. It's a great film.
Trying to think.
Like you missed these
this
things.
is the end. He was great in this. Is
Danny
the end.
McBride, yeah. So it's pretty much just turned into commercial for all his shit. Go watch Eastbound and Down.
He's bound and down.
I mean, just so much cool shit out there. Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm definitely. That's cool shit. Yeah, I read that he produced this, and I was excited. I was like,
John
man,
Carpenter's finally getting involved again.
Yeah, that's good news. Good
Making
news.
the score.
It
Jamie
looks
Lee Curtis
good.
Is back.
It
It
looks
just looks
good.
fantastic.
It looks fucking really
And
good.
they
so.
just had a premiere at the film festival, at some Toronto film festival.
Yeah.
And everyone says it's just excellent. It is pretty much, they said it's next to the original
Yeah,
as
I'm
far
excited.
as quality goes.
I'm fucking excited. So we got
And
that.
just
We got some
hearing
good
that
shit coming out, man. Some good shit
Promising
coming
shit.
out. Red Dead 2 next month.
Yeah.
So just, go ahead and everybody take $60 or steal it from your kids' piggy banks and get ready to buy that.
Oh yeah. I already got mine pre-ordered.
No, I don't. I need to jump on the ball. I don't give a fuck what I got to do to have that day one. Like, where can I sell testicles? Like, let's get at it. Like, I fucking want it.
Yeah.
Like, I've been waiting.
If you're getting that on
since 2010? Since I put in Red Dead and played it, like we just talked about Spider-Man, until I was fucking like skinning every animal in the game to get the 100%. That's another one I 100%, dude. I can show you the fucking achievement for it.
Hell yeah.
Red Dead. That game was massive when it came out. Like, I sink time into it, man, and I did it quick.
That was an amazing game.
Oh,
I
yeah,
loved
dude.
that game.
I loved it, dude. As soon as I read there was an
And the
achievement for
Undead
driving,
Nightmare
riding
DLC
around.
was just so good.
As soon as I read there was an achievement for going to every saloon and putting up your dukes and fucking busting people in the jaw, I did it. Like, I fucking love that game so fucking much. Like, so good. So good. So, yeah, next month's gonna be
And
good.
this next one just looks like it's just going to be so amazing. Have you seen any of the videos that they show gameplay?
No.
You got
I'm not. No, I'm not. Because I know. I know what's coming. I know it's coming, and I don't want to spoil myself. Dude, I am so excited. Like, I am actively... It's like when WrestleMania is coming, and I stay off the internet because I don't want to see spoilers. Like, I just don't. I don't want them. I don't want to know what happens. I'm ready. I'm fucking ready for it. This is a story I'm going to get into, so I'm excited. I don't want to know. I am so fucking hyped for this shit. God damn, I'm all riled up, non-judgmental. It's time to play video games. I'm going to get into Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
So.
I gotta get into it.
We'll see you guys next time.
Later.